Hey guys, today we're going to talk about some connections, even if they are a little loose, between the Redneck, Rave, PBR, and even the WWE. Many of y'all know about Redneck Rave, and it is Justin Time's company. Many of you also know about PBR. In case you don't, they are the professional bull riders. And I'm sure everybody's heard of the WWE. So there is somewhat of a connection between PBR and Redneck Rave. Some Redneck Rave events may be linked to PBR, and their official website might direct you to ticket sales as well. So there's that connection. Who owns PBR? Well, the owner of the UFC acquired PBR through the TKO group, basically. Who's the TKO group? They're a sports and entertainment promoter, basically. They were formed by a merger between Endeavor and Zuffa. Basically, it's a parent company of mixed martial arts promotion, Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC, and the WWE. TKO is led by Ari Emanuel and President Mark Shapiro. Okay, amongst these names, you've got a couple, both Emanuel and Shapiro are of Endeavor. Okay, and then you've got Dana White and Nick Khan. They retain the roles as CEOs of the UFC and WWE. And then the co-founder, Vince McMahon, was the executive chairman. He served as a chairman until resigning in January 2024 amid a certain trafficking scandal. Here is a little bit on that alleged scandal. Again, alleged. So TKO has ownership in WWE, UFC, and PBR. Now, this is what I found interesting is the ownership breakdown, the structure of the ownership. So, of course, you have Endeavor with Silver Lake. Now, we'll get back to that in a minute. Of course, you've got a couple of these people. Vanguard Group, very interesting, and look at that, BlackRock. Here is part of a pie chart which will give you a little bit more of a visual on the ownership breakdown. Silver seems to hold the most. So Silver Lake, also known as Endeavor, you have two integral capital partners. One, Roger McNamee, another one, Glenn Hutchins, who came from Blackstone Group itself. And remember I mentioned BlackRock earlier? Well, BlackRock is a subsidiary of Blackstone. Hutchins also served as a special advisor for economic and health policy in the early Clinton administration. So, me saying all this, I'm just going to let y'all know, I am not suicidal. Not at all. Alright, so what would investment companies like Blackstone and BlackRock, what else do they invest in? Well, the music industry. Very heavily so. And just to give y'all an idea about BlackRock, this is how much wealth they have. More than 191 countries combined, and they are just a subsidiary of Blackstone. With it being a subsidiary, how much more does Blackstone have? Let's go back to WWE. So we know that obviously Blackstone, BlackRock are invested in the WWE. Well, what formerly known independent artist just had an incident, quote, incident with WWE? All right, you guys, so we've made a connection with the WWE and who invests in them, Blackstone, BlackRock. We've found who invests in PBR. You have TKO. And TKO's ownership structure was broken down earlier. Again, BlackRock, Blackstone. Now you have a, quote, independent artist, end quote, who owns Redneck Rave. And you have seen there's a connection between Redneck Rave sales and PBR. Again, going back to TKO. Again, going back to BlackRock and Blackstone. Now, does this mean this connection is 100% ironclad proof? Absolutely not. We do not have like the actual paper trail to be able to say that this is what's going on, that there is some connection there. But it definitely looks like a connection from what we can just see online. Again, this is all my opinion, but I do believe there is a connection. It also makes me wonder why a certain independent artist has had so many issues with these two people and other artists that have things to do with Redneck Rave. Not all of them, but some of them. Again, this doesn't make me right about any of this, you guys. I want y'all to do your own research. If you disagree with me, that's what your logic leads you to. Great. But I believe there is a connection here. And more times than not, all you have to do is just follow the money.